Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica illustrations here, and the picture has filled out a little bit. You can see that we added a few figures. Last time the only thing we had was, hold on, let's get a layer in here. Last time the only thing we had was this guy. So we added this, which is, I like this addition that we made. It's a type of figure that often is used to denote exterior settings. And so we added those. We added this guy. Oh, look at that. The thing crashed, I guess, and didn't save our work. Good thing we weren't doing anything. Then I also added Thetis on the left. So we are in a better position now to kind of understand what that's what the picture originally was, if you guys recall. And then Thetis was this kind of blob. So I changed it up to have her, originally she was on the right, but now she's on the left. She's got a ceremonial bowl that she's giving as like a prize for the funeral games. This guy used to be doing this squatting position, but I thought about it and I thought, like, I don't think that really represents any particular sport that I could think of. So I changed him up. These guys are boxers now. I was thinking of making them wrestlers in the stick figure, but I kind of, the forms that we arrived at, they're a little better for boxing, I think. And then this guy's doing discus still, and I added that exterior thing. So let's see here. I think we can select two of these and carry them both at the same time. Maybe. I don't think you can. No. Okay. We'll just do it one at a time. So now when we scroll back down, come on, we see those guys. I think it's turning out pretty well. These are not really the finished figures, because you can see the line weights and a lot of stuff is not done with them. Like the line weights are all different. The hands for the boxers, I didn't know where they would need to connect, so I didn't even draw them. The lines are pretty sloppy in a lot of parts, and so mostly this is just like we're drawing individual pieces, sticking them in for reference of where they're going to go, and then once we have the whole picture, then we can redraw them all with the same line weights, essentially trace what we already had, but that'll make it so that everything is uniform. And what I meant to say is the athlete on the left is an archer now, which is makes more sense because that's a big one of the funeral games that they do is archery. They have to shoot an arrow through the hair thing on the top of one of those Greek helmets. So that definitely sort of makes a lot of sense for what we're doing. So we're in a good spot. I did all this on the plane, by the way. A very productive plane trip. Usually I don't get that much done on a flight. So hold on a second. Hold on. Stand by. So now we have two of the most major pieces of imagery that we want to do. Number one is the charioteer, which is on the left. Number two is the horseman on the right. Those are representing two of the different funeral games. One of them is a horse race, like on horseback, and another one is a chariot race. So I figure we'll have both of those. And you can see that this horseman is doing a pose where he's looking backwards, which is a common paradigm in Greek pottery artwork. So I think that'll be a nice nod to what we're trying to do. So let's do 4,500 by, is this going to let me do a different size? Maybe 3,500. It's going to be wide-ish. And the way I've been doing it has been, it was very uncomfortable to try and do these on the plane, by the way, because there was nowhere to put my iPad. I had to put it on top of my computer keyboard since I had the computer open to see my reference pictures. And the keyboard, if the iPad is on it, would start going crazy. So that was a bit of a problem, but it all worked out. I'm not sure if I'll make this horse a black figure or a white figure. It could be interesting to do black figures on the top or bottom and white on the, like two different layers of figures. I think though, yeah, you know what, it's going to be better to do it the other way, because if you do the black figure pottery, then it you need to have a different kind of background. So we're just getting rough shapes in here for now. And then we go in and do our thing. And for this, I don't really have a reference of a white figure pottery of the person sitting on a horse, but I'll try and construct it out of other. The archer, for example, I had to make completely sort of without reference, or rather, without direct reference. So that was all just kind of like me trying to reconfigure existing images into what I wanted it to be, and it worked out. So we'll see if we can do the same for this. We're gonna take this and make it a little larger. Okay. Now, I think we're going to want to take this and move it a little further back. And we're also going to want to probably take the whole thing, make it a little smaller. And we're going to probably stretch the legs out a little bit. Oops. And maybe make them go further back so it like kind of indicates more of a forward motion. Okay. Yeah, you can see that this stage is really about, we're making a red outline so that we can then be able to make changes, and essentially we're going to draw our next piece on top of this outline. So you'll sort of see what I mean when we go. I'm going to make a couple of decisions here though about, I think we want this horseback rider to be a little bit more kind of horseback rider-ish, like race-ish. So we're gonna give him more of like a hunch like that. The Greek pottery I'm seeing, it's more sort of sedate. They're not really assuming a position like a jockey would or anything. But I think that'll give us a better result. And so the idea with these pictures is that, and it's a little weird to look at in these pieces of pottery, but the rider a lot of times, or runner, will look backwards, which indicates that like you know, they're leading the charge or whatever, and they're being chased by others. So not necessarily leading it, but like, for example, if there's like a lot of times the pottery will represent like a Greek god who's like stealing a human away, you know, from their homes or whatever, and it'll show like the human who is looking backwards as they're running because they're like being actively chased. There's a lot of kind of like interesting paradigms for Greek pottery where it's like I'm trying to honor some of that stuff whenever I can, whenever I recognize it. So now we turn this layer to half transparency, and we're gonna start drawing stuff. Okay, let's just make this head a little bit bigger for now. Oh, so this line doesn't go to here. It goes like this type of thing. I guess this is representing like the whatever thing goes around the horse's mouth. It's got a cool eyeball that's like this. So we're repurposing this, what is originally a black figure piece of pottery, to a white figure piece. So there's going to be a little bit of adaptational choices that we have to do here. First of all, let's actually just take this whole thing and we're going to transpose this to be a little bit further up. I think that'll make it more interesting. So you can see that we don't have to follow our, you know, guidelines that we drew. Those are meant to inspire us, but not to, you know, hold us back. It looks like there's like two. I don't really understand horse anatomy. It would probably benefit me to actually look up some pictures of horse legs, which I think we did on a couple of these other ones. But for now, since this is like the ref version, we're not really gonna worry that much about it. Okay. I can't really see how this part of the horse sort of works, but let's just make our own. Okay. And let's give this one a more wild, like it's going way in another direction, which will hopefully indicate more of like action in the scene. Oops. Although we have to make this not look like crap. It usually helps when you make things not look like crap. Okay, so now we can do the we can do the figure on a separate instance, and I'm also gonna just exit out every once in a while because I think that's what forces it to save. All right, let's take a look. I'm gonna look at some other figures to try and get a reference for the face, because this type of like white figure thing is very different from from the black figure ones that we're taking reference from. So let's actually make a separate ref for the person. Maybe we'll make it blue. Oops. And with that one, we will actually try to get the anatomy down. Exactly how we want it. So we have a horse. Now we want to add a guy on that horse. And that's what we're going to do next time. Thanks for joining, ladies and gents. That's going to do it for this instance of our Posthomerica audiobook construction. If you don't know the project, Posthomerica is an ancient Greek piece of text that I'm publishing my own edition of, as well as making an audiobook version of it. So if you want to find more details about that, exclamation mark, I forget what it is, Posthomerica, I think, or POST, post, in the chat. You can also go to my Audible page to check for when it comes out. If you're interested, there's a link to that on my the front page of my Twitch channel. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.